First alerting you to a suspected scam making the rounds locally on social media connected to air duct cleaning ads. Now, when you contact a company listed as Fresh Air Solutions, you think you're getting the Conway company, but instead you could be getting a company based outside of South Carolina. Might not sound like such a bad thing, but as Eric Richards found out, it can be when talking about prices and services in this WMBF News investigation.
Okay, awesome. I've moved into my first house, making my first, adult decision, and yeah, it didn't turn out too well.
What's in a name? That's the first question that comes to mind for Carrie Miller, who sought out a local company to come out and clean the air ducts of her new rental home in Goose Creek.
My son has asthma, and we had just moved into the place, and his asthma seemed to be really acting up, and I figured why not get the air ducts cleaned? That would be one thing that I could knock off the list as to what could be causing it.
Miller contacted what she thought was Fresh Air Solutions in Conway to come out for a special deal. Like $99 for, to get your air ducts cleaned. You're thinking, this is a good deal. This is maybe too good to be true.
Exactly, and it was...
Immediately there were red flags, like when the technician showed up in an unmarked van
was there like
without
a lot
a
of stuff that
uniform.
came at the time. It was $129 to have the air ducts and the dryer vent cleaned, and at the time we didn't have a dryer, so I told him that wasn't necessary, so he said it would only be $99. And I was like, okay, awesome.
So the tech went up into the attic, hooked up a machine which Miller doesn't think was ever actually turned on, and then came back down to say, surprise, this is going to cost some more money because...
When he came down, he was already on the phone with his boss, which when he handed me the phone, the name was in symbols. It wasn't even in English or any actual letters. And his boss was telling me that there was yellow stuff coming from the unit and that it needed to be cleaned out and possibly even a new unit, and the sooner the better. And you can hear him like tapping almost like on a keyboard. And he says, I'm going to see what kind of discount I can give you here really quick. And I told him whenever he told me the number, because it was over $600.
At that point, Miller's boyfriend, Casey Craig, stepped in because something just didn't seem right.
That's when everything took a turn. That's when we kind of realized that it was too good to be true. He was up in the attic looking at the inside unit, and he was trying to tell us that, the whole unit up there needed to be cleaned, even though that's not what we asked him to come out here for.
With that, Craig said no deal and gave the technician $100 and told him to leave. Later, a frustrated Miller contacted Fresh Air Solutions on Facebook again. This time, she found a local number and spoke to Dylan Deatley, who owns the company in Conway.
So what they're doing is stealing my company name, going on Facebook, running ads for very low prices as far as like $99 air duct cleanings. And they're going out and they're performing these so-called air duct cleanings.
Essentially, what you're saying is that somebody's using the name of your company, Fresh Air Solutions, and advertising on Facebook. Have you reached out to Facebook? Have you reached out to anybody and flagged this?
Yes, we have, and Facebook said they can't really do anything because they're coming up as a legitimate company. I don't know how they're doing it. I did reach out to the people that are doing it, and he pretty much cussed me out. And
we did some research, found a Fresh Air Solutions with an address out of Melbourne, Florida, using an 866 number, which may explain the Florida license plate on the van without decals that showed up to Miller's home. The address the Florida company uses is Fresh Air Solutions FL@gmail.com, while the Conway company uses Fresh Air Solutions SC@gmail.com.
what they're taking some random machines out, hooking it up to your HVAC system, and then going into their truck for lunch, coming back, unhooking them, and leaving. I've gotten that same story from about 3 people now.
Luckily for Carrie Miller, she didn't end up shelling out hundreds or even thousands of dollars for services she didn't want or need. But as you've heard, that isn't the case for some folks in our area. I will have part 2 of this investigation where I confront the company out of Florida. For WMBF News, I'm Eric Richards.
Deatley says that he's in the process of trademarking his logo, encouraging anyone who thinks they may have been scammed by the Florida company to reach out to him.